Yeah, this is interesting stuff.
So I forget all about it. Put her on the list. Let's call her Beyonce.
Oh, okay.
So, sitting in the green room with the guy. We're talking jokes, whatever. We're having a couple of drinks. Second show's about to start. Jeez, what is that, cement?
You'd think it was stronger, but
Wow.
you can hear it.
Yeah, you'd think he wouldn't be able to hear.
That was like paper.
was
See,
like-
these are wood. These are load-bearing walls.
That's sheetrock, baby.
Yeah, that's nothing.
You get a frat guy with a bad relationship, he'll knock that down.
This is cement.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Jerry said that. He said knocking on Kramer's door actually hurt. Because it's solid.
Is that right?
That's what he said.
Okay, so sitting in the green room, door, yellow, and go, hey, Mark, your guest is here.
Oh, boy.
I go, what? Guest? No guest. And they go, no, your guest. And then in walks this kooky lady who I've never met. And they're like, yeah, here she is. You're welcome. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, hey, throws the coat off, sits down. She's like, what are we doing? We got a show. Here we go. And I'm like, who is this? And she's in the room. It's like she's hit your perimeter. Like she's inside the walls, man. It
Wow.
changes everything. So my opener, Marcus, is like, oh, they must know each other.
Yeah,
or
they always
whatever.
leave.
He got the fuck out of Dodge because he was
course.
like, I was trying to give you some whatever.
Yeah.
And now I've got notes here, swastikas. I was writing, and she's like, what are we doing? Oh, you got some new stuff? What's going on? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And you just go, you have to 180 immediately and just go into like chit-chat mode.
God, this is like stressing me out. It's
Oh,
giving me
man.
anxiety.
My heart was pumping. I'm just like, and she's like, so, how have the shows been? I'm like, good. And, the whole point of the green room is I'm a comedian. I hate people. I hate small talk. I
a
want to
safe
get away
space.
from It's a safe space. It was not safe. I was infiltrated. It was an ambush. And so now I'm like, oh, COVID, it's getting everybody. And cold out, huh? I mean, I'm doing the whole
Brutal.
Thanksgiving dinner spiel and with the relatives. Eventually, I go, oh, let me go look at the room. And she's in there ordering drinks. I mean, it was wild. So I go out there and I go, what the fuck was that? Who was it? They're like, we thought it was your friend. I'm like, I don't know this lady. Some old bag. And so they go, okay. So one guy comes in and he's like, all right, show's starting, ma'am. Let me get you to your seat. And she's like, what? And you could tell she didn't want to go.
Oh, my
She wanted to hang in
God.
the green.
This is
Why
my
wouldn't
worst
you?
nightmare.
So they bring her out to the show, and I was like, what the hell was that? You never bring anybody back. They're like, we thought it was your guest, a secret private guest. I'm like, no guest. So after the show, hung out all night, selling merch, sitting there, and she's banging on the green room door.
What?
The show's over.
She's Barney Rubble. Or
Yes.
Fred Flintstone. Whichever one was banging on the door. I think it was Fred.
Wilma. Was
Yeah.
that it? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Deep cut. So
That was a big show.
eventually, I just stopped answering the door. I'm like, I can't go back out there. I can't see her. I can't face her.
Oh.
She's messaging, private message. What's the deal? What are we doing after? And eventually, she's sitting at the bar. I don't know if I should say this, but the bartender is like, ma'am, the lights are off. Like, you got to go. My car's running. It's 4 a.m. And
Oh,
she goes,
boy.
well, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm going home. And she goes, I'll go with you. And he goes, okay. And that was that. True story. How do you like that? Isn't that something? Is that releasable? I mean, should we-
I think so. I mean, there's
we-
no names, but I mean,
if she hears that, she'll just
I
slit
imagine.
the old vein open.
I imagine she's gonna hear it. She's a super fan, right? Or maybe she knows you from.
How you look at me? Like
You're the authority in the room. I don't
Maybe-
know. You own a microphone.
I mean,
and
maybe
a
she
car.
knows you from the TV shows or something. But I imagine she's gonna dabble in this. But we didn't. I mean, I don't know.
She didn't seem all there, if I might
Well,
say
she
so.
sounds bizarre.
She
I mean,
was bizarre, all right.
Yeah.
well, who knows what they did at home, right? There you go.
Yeah. And that's another thing. What's wrong with sleeping with a guy? You know, we do this all. Don't slut shame, and then we go. You said I fucked that guy. I'm like, I thought it was. What's wrong with that? What are you slut shaming?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he said that. I think it's more just she sounds sad.
I think she was a little lonely,
Yeah.
which is fine.
I'm lonely. Yeah, give me that guy's number. I'm
Yes,
I'm lonely in a crowd.
He was a cute guy, bartender. He's got a job.
I know a
Stays late.
bartender named Bart.
Ah.
Bart.